Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a freezer cooking session and I'm going to be making some toddler friendly things that I can stick in the freezer for miles. So I've got my recipe up on the computer here, and I'll put the link in the description box for the recipe, but I'm going to be making the spinach banana muffins, and I got all my ingredients out and my food processor. My oven is preheating, so let's get started. Now the recipe says it's supposed to be thick, and it's really thick, but it says if it's super thick you can add a little bit of milk to thin it out, so that's what I'm gonna do. And here they all are. They look and smell really good. So he's sleeping right now, but when he wakes up, we'll have him give them a try and see what he thinks of them. Okay, let's get moving on to these pancakes here. All right, I got everything out for my pancakes. And I like to do oat flour in this recipe just to kind of give it a little bit more nutrition. So for my chicken nugget recipe, you're supposed to use mashed potato in there, and I should have started this first because this is going to take a little while to boil. I'm going to peel and chop this up and start it boiling while I finish making my pancakes. And my pancake batter is all ready to go. I didn't film me finishing it. It's just me making pancake batter, nothing fancy. I kind of made up the recipe, tweaked it. So yeah, hopefully it's good. Okay, I'm gonna preheat my griddle. And I like to use coconut oil as a non-stick oil. So I'm just gonna put a spoonful onto the griddle, and that will melt as the griddle gets hot. So as it's melting, I'm just gonna spread it all around. I find that this gives it a really nice flavor, and it helps the pancakes brown and crisp up really nicely. But I'm just gonna do little mini pancakes. And here's the pancakes. They look really good and they smell really good. So I'm going to let these cool a little bit before I bag them up. These are already cool. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in a freezer bag. I'm gonna clean all this mess up here, and then I'm going to get the stuff ready for chicken nuggets. Look who just woke up. I'm gonna go get him and we're gonna try out these muffins and see what he thinks. think those are actually the perfect size, and he's getting the hang of it. He must like it because he's continuing to eat it. Otherwise, he would not. He'd be throwing it. Oh, is it good? Well, I think they're toddler approved. Okay, so while he's content there, I am going to start in on the chicken nuggets. For the chicken nuggets, I'm going to get all my dry ingredients prepared and ready and then measure out the chicken because I don't want to contaminate anything, and you're gonna have to grind the chicken in here. So I'm gonna crush up my corn flakes, and I'm gonna post this recipe in the link below, and I'm changing it up just a little bit. Instead of using oats, I'm gonna use mashed potato, which if you watch their video on YouTube instead of on their website, the recipe off their website has the old-fashioned oats in there, and their video on YouTube has mashed potato. So I'm going to do that. Just reading some of the comments is always helpful when you find a recipe online. Read through the comments. Very helpful information. And I'm going to use these corn flakes, these organic corn flakes from Trader Joe's instead of panko breadcrumbs or anything else. So I'm not really measuring because I'm not sure if I'm going to do 1 pound of chicken or 2. I'm going to measure out 1 pound and or half a pound and see how much it is, and then I might go to 2 pounds. So I'm just going to start out with crushing these up. Normally when I make this, when I make like chicken tenders for me and my husband, I just take the chicken and cut it up into pieces and dip it in here and then bake it. But because Miles doesn't really have a lot of teeth and he can't really chew meat very much, I'm going to go ahead and process it in here just to grind it up. It's going to be really gross and not really the consistency that I would like to eat it, but I think it'll help him to be able to chew it a little bit more. You could probably also use ground chicken instead of grinding it yourself, which would also work. But this is what I'm going to be doing. You enjoying your muffin? He's chomping down on it. Oops. Okay, so this was actually supposed to go in here. I don't know what I was thinking. I was not paying attention. I was thinking about him and drying it. But you know what? That's okay. We'll have parsley on the outside. Wow, me and parsley are not getting along today. Okay, I just made a mess. I'll clean it up in a minute. Okay, and it says a half a teaspoon. That's a lot. I don't think Miles is going to want a ton of flavor, so I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit in, probably 1/8 of a teaspoon. And then this is half a teaspoon of salt, but I'm just going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon because I don't want it to be, maybe I'll do a little bit more. I don't want it to be super salty. Okay, I'm going to get all this cleaned up, and then I'm going to measure out my raw chicken. Okay, so I've got my kitchen scale, and I'm going to weigh out 1 pound. And I have chicken tenders, or chicken tenderloins here. And I would just use boneless, skinless chicken breasts, but they were not on sale. And some of them have a little bristly part in there, and I'm just going to use the scissors to cut it off. Just to kind of hold it together and add a little bit of liquid in there. Some of the people were saying that they did that and it worked, so I'm going to try it. Okay, that looks a little better. Ugh, still looks absolutely disgusting. So, I wish I had gloves. And it smells very strong, like garlic. So I think maybe next time I'll do even less. So I'm just going to, oh, they're really sticky. This is so gross. Just take them in little balls and then drop them in my mixture, and then I can flatten them out just a little bit, and I'm going to line them on my greased baking sheet. Now the recipe says you can just freeze them just like this. However, I don't know about freezing the raw meat and then, you know, making sure I get them cooked for Miles before he eats them. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just bake them and then freeze them after they cool. And then when I go to heat them up for him, I can just warm them up until they're thawed. All right, so here they all are, and I am going to bake them at 350 for about 15 minutes. I'll probably check them after 10 minutes. I don't want them to brown too much. I just want to make sure they're thoroughly cooked. And I'm going to pop those in the oven, and then I'm going to clean this entire area up. Now this is all highly contaminated, so I am going to make sure I clean this really good in hot soapy water, and then I'm going to take my disinfectant spray. I'm going to spray my whole counter down. I'm going to spray my scale, and I'm also going to thoroughly clean and disinfect the outside of this and the little that little thingy there, because even if I don't think I splattered chicken juice anywhere, you always want to be very careful. So after I'm done disinfecting everything here, cleaning up, I'm gonna spray out my sink with disinfectant, let it sit, and get it all cleaned up, because you don't want to cross-contaminate anything. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven and I'll show you when they're done baking. I've sprayed disinfectant all over my countertop, and I sanitized that really good, and then I have Comet with bleach, not mixed together, but it's in the Comet can together. I scrubbed the sink out with that, so I'm just letting that sit to make sure I get everything there. And here are the chicken nuggets. They came out and they look really good. They smell very garlicky, so I think next time I might use a little less. I haven't tasted them yet, but they look really good and they browned up nicely on the bottom. So I think they're gonna be pretty good. Once they're done cooling, I'm gonna put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. And then over here are my pancakes. They've cooled, and I lined the baking sheet with wax paper, and I'm gonna freeze them like this, and then once they're frozen, I'll stick them in a Ziploc bag. So here is everything. I've got the pancakes all individually frozen, and that way they're not stuck together, and I can just pull out one or two or how many ever I need. And then the chicken nuggets are also individually frozen. And here are the muffins. So that is everything, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and let me know if you want to see more toddler friendly meals. Thanks for watching.